Hi everyone, welcome out to the Dice Tower. My name is Chris Yi.
And I'm Camilla.
And today we're taking a look at Blindjack. Have you ever wanted to mix a party trivia game with blackjack?
I never thought about it,
Well,
but why not?
Well, these three designers did, so I'm going to show you how this one plays, then we'll give you our thoughts. Here's Blindjack on the table. You can play with up to 4 teams, and you're going to use these teeny little cubes to try to keep track of not the score, but the number that you're trying to get to. You're trying to answer trivia questions, getting up to 21, but not busting. So let's say that we're playing 2 teams, yellow versus blue. Yellow is going to be dealt a trivia card. They're going to answer it and guess it, and then reveal on the back of the card the actual answer out to the other players. So they say, number of planets in the solar system larger than Earth. So we're going to guess. We're going to guess 5. I forget if Venus is larger than Earth or not, right? But there's Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So what you would do at this point is reveal the number on the back of the card to other players at the table. It was actually 4, but we guessed 5. Now that team knows that. So you're going to keep taking questions and answering them. And we're back to social media. Blue team's going to guess 3. 3 billion humans on the planet are on social media. Number of seats in thousands that were in the Colosseum of Rome. So starting here, we're at 5, and taking this is going to bump us higher. I'm going to guess 7,000 seats. So our running total guess is at 12 on yellow team. Blue team is going to go here, and they're going to say, rank of Spanish among the most spoken native languages. I'm going to guess 3rd, right? 3, so we're up to 6 there. Now, in theory, and of course you keep revealing the actual answer to other players at the table. Now, components of McDonald's cheeseburger. Now that there are 2 cards out here per team, in theory, this could have been 10, this could have been 10, and so this card might cause us to bust if we choose to keep it or not. So starting on your 3rd card, you choose whether you want to keep it or not. The number of components of McDonald's cheeseburger, I don't think that's 10. We're at 12, our running total. Onion, pickle, lettuce, or not lettuce. Anyway, so I'm going to guess 6. I'm going to guess 6 components in a Mickey D's cheeseburger here, excluding salt and pepper. So we have number of atheists out of 10 people in the world. Blue's once again going to guess 3. Blue has guessed 3 on every single one of these. Coming back here to yellow, number of people killed by John Rambo in the first Rambo movie. Now, we only have 3 steps left here, and yellow team is going to say, well, I think that keeping this card is going to push us over the limit. So instead of keeping it and making a guess, I'm going to pass, right? We're done. We're locking ourselves in for the round. The question comes over here. Now, the blue team actually knows the answer to this question, and so they say, oh yeah, we're definitely going to keep it. It's 1. Yellow team goes, what? Anyway, so now yellow team's out. Blue team keeps taking questions. Number of senses lost by Beethoven, not the dog, during his life. Record attendance for a single concert in millions. That might push us over, so we're going to pass. So now we're going to reveal. All teams have passed, and we're going to look. What is yellow at here? There were only 4 planets larger than Earth. The Colosseum sat 7,000 people, and there are 7 components in a Mickey D's cheeseburger. So the actual answer here is not at 18, but at 16. So now let's see if blue team got closer to 21 or if they busted. So there are 5 billion people on social media. Spanish is the 2nd most common language. There are only 1 out of 10 atheists in the world. John Rambo, in fact, only killed 1 person in the movie. Beethoven only lost 1 sense, not the dog. Centuries of the Greenland shark is 4. Minimum number of moves to win a game of chess is 2. So actually, the total here, we can see, is going to be 10, 14, 15, 16. There is a tie here. There's a tie. So if you are playing the longer game, you can score up number of points, and the first team to hit a certain number of points is going to be the winner. Otherwise, that would be a draw there. Now, had the blue team been courageous enough to take record attendance for a concert in millions, they would have gotten up to 20. So yeah, that's the idea there. Try to get to 21 without busting. The answer to my earlier question is, I never thought to mix it either.
Right? It's so random, and I think that's what makes this game intriguing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that it was like an instant jump on board for me, like, oh my gosh, I never thought of this, it's great. It was more like, what? Yeah, I need to play this to find out how that works.
Yeah, and that's it was very intriguing of a hook, and I think that it's a good one. I think that the idea of this works, right, is as you're guessing and you're trying not to get too close to the edge. And I was sitting there at first wondering, like, why do you have this rule where after you guess, you reveal the back of the card, you show it to everyone else? It's mostly, I think, so they can kind of jeer at you.
Yeah.
But also, you don't want to give away too much. Look and
Right.
go like, you said one.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good little hook, and I don't know. Do you enjoy overall kind of this flow of this game, like the step by step of it?
Yeah, overall, I really enjoy the flow of this game. I think it sets you up for some real fun moments, which you talked about, where everyone knows and they're like, and inside they're like, oh my gosh, he's totally over. You know, it's like, but it's not a bluffing game or anything like that. You know, it just sets up for some really fun, revelatory moments, I think. And so I do enjoy the flow of this game. I think it's a fantastic design choice to do trivia the way they did, where you're just guessing a number 1 through 10. I think that makes it, as a trivia game, very, very approachable. And you're not having to come up with some pop culture reference or some obscure fun fact that nobody knows. It is all number based, 1 to 10. So worst case scenario, you go in the middle for a 5.
Right.
You know, and you're not that far off. And so I really think that was a good design choice and what leads to this being a very approachable and enjoyable experience. But I do think that it leaves some people at least to some confusing moments as well. And that's mostly in the way the cards are written.
Yeah, I definitely noticed with some of them, we reread them a few times and even had discussions of like,
Right.
What does it mean when it reads, women out of every 10 centenarians in the world? Like, what?
Right. And
What is the question?
Huh? Right. And you're definitely having to like dissect and be like, okay, these are our 3 options. Let's whittle down from these 3 options what it means, you know, and that would be harder for, I think, non-English speakers. It'd be harder for younger kids when ultimately I think any kid can play this. Just some of the questions are going to be a little wonky.
A little wonky. Some of them are very pop culture referencey, like how many teeth are on the Rolling Stones logo. And the cards do go down to 0 as well. So there's some of those funny moments too, where someone's like 5. You know, like, but your score didn't move any close to 21. But it is also kind of fun when sometimes someone like knows the answer. How many time zones there are in China was one of them. There was one that like Z.
How many times can a piece of paper be folded?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what, and he was like, he knew it, and he was like, I'm showing you, but I'm telling you at the same time. Like, it wasn't like a thinking, it was just like, this is 7, or whatever it was, you know?
Yeah.
And that leads to, again, its own kind of fun moments when you're like, oh my gosh, how do you know that, you know? Without somebody feeling stupid if they don't understand a pop cult. Like, how did you not know that was Taylor Swift, you know?
Yeah, you don't have to produce clever answers.
Correct, you know, or come up with an exact name or person or title, something like that. So I think that that's really well done outside of the way the questions are written. One thing that I think this game absolutely needs, that it very much failed in the execution of, is the tracking where you think your number is. It's not a score.
Gosh.
You know, you're only going to 21, and so it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard. It's only a couple cards out there, but you need to have an idea of where you think you are, and it does implement it with these little side tracks on the side of the inserts, but 2 cubes barely fit side by side on one of those. It's falling off all the time. If you move the box, they're going to fall off. It's just such a needed thing to keep track of that the execution of it is pretty abysmal. When you could have just made 4 extra cards or 5 extra cards, however many plays up to 12. Okay, fine. 12 extra cards. 4
teams is what it says. Break out into teams.
Okay.
So you're playing with higher people, right?
Okay, but I mean, you could just have a couple additional cards in here when it already has so many cards that you should move your cube on your own little one, because everyone doesn't need to know that information. You know, because they know exactly what it is because they saw your answers if they want to min-max it. So I don't know. That really irked me that there's not a better way to track where you think you are close to 21.
And we tried playing without it. We're like, I can keep track of up to 20. And then I was sitting there going,
Well, we're at 14. Well, this one was 5. We guessed. What did we guess on this one, guys?
Right.
So it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few flubs there. I think the wording of some of the questions. I think some of the questions they're usually pretty precise, but then there's a few that are vague, and people ask like, well, does it mean this or does it mean that? Like, I don't know, dude. I read the same 5-word question you did.
Right, and you're like, also, I don't know the answer, so so you showing me the answer doesn't help.
And I think the other thing, though, for me, is that as much as I like this central gimmick of the game, or the central idea of what it is kind of slow getting there, right? Your first 2 cards, you know that you cannot bust because at max they're 10. And so, and if a lot of small number cards come out for some reason, it kind of feels like it's crawling. And then, right near the end, kind of gets exciting. Like, ooh, I don't know if I should take this one. I bet this is like an 8 and I'm going to bust. So you pass. And the next person goes, the answer's 2, I'm taking it. Like,
right. Well, as well as I think that does lead into, we're going to get the question, it's a party game, what about replayability? I do think it limits the replayability because there are so many of those like aha moments, you know, or learning moments that it would eventually, once you go through the deck, start to kind of lose that shine a little bit.
And I think quicker than a lot of other games, it kind of like, nothing else is blackjack trivia, but like a lot of trivia games, I'm going to forget the answers more quickly. And in this one, the range is 1 through 10.
Right.
Like I have an easier chance of actually remembering those things.
And even if you don't remember the exact one, you're going to be like, oh, I remember it was higher than I thought it was. So was it 7 or 8? You know what? I'm going to err on the side of it was 8 and know that I have one number kind of flexibility built in. Yeah. You know? So, so I think the replayability is pretty limited to one time through the deck. But there are a lot of cards in here.
There's 200 in the deck, so yeah. Overall, final score and your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, final score, I'm going to come down on a 6 on this. And I don't think that score necessarily represents how much I enjoyed the game, but more the whole package of the game. This is one that, as I have it, I see myself taking it to a party and enjoying it. You know, you say it's kind of slow getting going, teaching it to them, enjoying a couple rounds, and then if they did enjoy it and want it, gifting it to them. And then a couple months later, picking up another copy. Oh, wow, there it is again. Oh, I enjoyed that. Let me get it. Or I'm going to a party this weekend. So it's one that I would happily have and also happily pass along because I think there are going to be some great moments where everyone's kind of coming together, where there's those aha moments, whether it's like, oh my gosh, nobody knew that. That was amazing. You know, some of those really fun bonding moments. But it is going to wean pretty quickly at the same time. You know?
Yeah.
So for me, it's a 6. I would happily play it, and I definitely recommend you playing it if you have an opportunity, because I think it is very unique. But it's not one that I'm going to say, like, you need to go and try this. This is a revolutionary party game that's going to become an evergreen. That's the thing, is I don't think it's going to be an evergreen, but I think it's probably always going to be a good experience.
I think that's a great way to put it. In fact, cool. Yeah. But I'm coming a little higher. I'm at a 6.5.
Okay.
I just like the little trivia and all that stuff a little bit more, but I do see all of the same flaws, right? This is one, it's a pretty affordable game. I could see playing this several times and then saying, showing it to some friends, it's like, cool, you know what, you take it, play it several times with your friends, kind of this nice pass along. And so it's shy of, at the Dice Tower, if you give a 7 to a game, it's a recommendation, right? Yeah. It's just kind of shy of that recommendation, but at the same time, like you said, it's one worth trying, and maybe it'll click with you far more. But the little flubs are pretty obvious for me in this game. But all that being said, really enjoy it at the same time. So a high 6 and a high 6.5.
Right, absolutely. Very well said.
All right. Well, if you have played this, go ahead and share your thoughts below. You're thinking of it between 0 and 10. We're thinking of it right now. Nailed it. All right. Until next time, I'm Chris.
And I'm Camilla.
We'll see ya.
It was 7.
You were thinking, it was that person that was thinking 7. They were thinking 4.
Are you sure? Let's check the number track.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Basil.
Hold on, my underarm itches. That's just weird. Apologies. We're good.
That should have been part of the review.
Well, you have outtakes.